Hello, hello. So it's super early in the morning and I am absolutely over the moon. So it is day number 42. We are officially at 6 weeks. So I know yesterday I had shared a little bit about how I got the kids. This funk has been going through our house for like the past, I would say like 3 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks. And it's manifested in everybody a little bit differently. So my oldest she's my stomach bug girl. So anything that ever goes up like with her, automatically it's a stomach bug. And then with my middle one, she always has her stuff in her chest, and then my son always has his stuff in his head, and I am sinus. So we've had a crazy go of this thing, kind of like just doing its rounds, and my son's gotten it twice, and I swear all of those kids are just like giving it around to each other. The boys all have the same exact cough. It's crazy. And then same thing, like Lily and her boyfriend's family, like our house is doing the rounds, and then their house is doing the rounds, so they're just giving it back to each other. So it's a whole mess. But I have been able to, even though I got like the cough and the congestion, I will tell you, I have had to, like, sinus infections absolutely take me down, and they're the worst experience. I actually almost had to have sinusitis surgery years back. And in the divine design of how things played out, I was actually assigned a book on apple cider vinegar at the time. And so I started doing my research. And at the same time, let me see. So the day that I actually met with the doctor, and they were like, okay, we've had back-to-back sinus infections. We've treated with antibiotics. Like, this is so excessive. It was literally back-to-back for almost 12 months straight. And we couldn't figure out what was going on. No allergies, no nothing. And so finally, I had met with the doctor, and he was like, all right, we need to just go ahead and get scheduled. So at the next appointment, we're going to have to do that. And so that evening we'd gone to a friend's house, and his dad, who was like very, just like an older, like hippie gentleman, he was like, oh, you have a sinus infection. Why don't you drink some apple cider vinegar? And it was like, okay, how are those two things related at all? And I was like, interestingly enough, I was just assigned a book hours earlier, sent the contract. I had just been assigned apple cider vinegar for health, which is now like one of my best sellers. And it's so, I live off of this stuff. So this is 10 years ago. I started drinking it, and I didn't have a sinus infection literally for years. It was the most incredible experience in the world. So anyway, so that was what led like into this like whole homeopathic, adherence to really just trying to heal myself as much as possible through natural remedies. But so in this process, I think eliminating sugar and gluten from my diet, because with the 75 hard challenge, we've been adhering to, obviously the gallon of water is not hurting, right? Because that's helping to detox my systems and flush out any, there was one fascinating thing I read on hydration about how like the more hydrated you stay, it literally removes like dust and allergens from your mucous membranes. Like you're able to literally just like shed, dust and allergens that accumulate like in your nose hairs even. So I thought that was fascinating, because with this challenge, drinking the gallon of water is definitely helping. And then on top of that, the 2 forms of exercise, granted, I'm not doing anything intense, so there's no hit or anything, but between my walk outside, right, so it's fresh air, and then my Pilates, which is like slow movement and challenging to my muscle systems. And it's like yesterday, I was like, my throat was hurting, and like even just hitting some of the postures, like opening up my throat, I was like almost coughing, but just trying to breathe through it. It was incredible. And then obviously eliminating sugar and gluten from my diet. So my whole point is this 75 hard challenge has actually set me up to be able to not only fight off this bug while it's been making the rounds for weeks, but I have had such a light version of what the kids have had. So it's been really interesting to not only see like how everything is kind of coming together at 6 weeks, right? Like I can't believe we've been doing this for 6 weeks. My daughter last night was trying to give me these like granola bites that have chocolate in them. And she was like looking at the ingredient list and she was like, can you have this? Can you have this? Can you have this? And I was like, oh, those 2 ingredients are actually sugar. So even though they don't sound like it. And she was like, oh, interesting. So A, right there, like there's so many learning lessons that are coming from all of this. And then B, like they are starting to even like follow some of the things that I've been implementing. Like even with the exercise, like my middle one, who is my track star, she's like she's incorporating Pilates now, which before they were like, oh, this is like for old people. And now it's like this cool thing. So I don't know. It's just, I cannot tell you how many awesome things have come from this experience. And now to even have like, I mean, I will tell you 2 days ago when I woke up and had this sore throat, I was like, oh no, this is not good. And then to have this already be on like its way out is absolutely incredible. So I will keep you posted on how I do, especially in terms of the sinus, because that's where all of my sicknesses end up going there. And that's where I'm hoping that these new, dietary changes, lifestyle changes, everything that's come along with the 75 hard challenge, I'm hoping that these all move me in the right direction, that that's not an issue. So we shall see. I'm going to get ready. I wanted to celebrate my 6-week anniversary with you guys, or not anniversary, but benchmark, and just wish you all the best. And thank you so much for following along with me. This has been the coolest journey, and I'm super, super excited to continue for the remainder of our time together. So I'm going to get to work, and I hope you have an absolutely incredible day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.